Thanks for taking my question. I want to go back to what you said about believing that Trump needs the same security detail as Biden. Do you know if there's efforts underway to make that happen? And have you specifically requested more Secret Service protection?
So, Kit, I have not requested more Secret Service protection. I think that we have what we need. And again, I think these guys are doing a great job, and I'm thankful for them, and I'm proud of them. And Now, sometimes I wish they would drive a little bit faster. I mean, these Secret Service agents, they drive like Miss Daisy, and I'm trying to see, I got Matt to laugh a little bit here. But they do not go faster than 68 miles per hour on the highway. I'd like to change that, kid. But otherwise, no changes to my Secret Service detail. But in terms of what's going on with President Trump, I do not know, to be clear, whether the president, meaning President Trump, has requested additional protection. I've talked to some of my friends on Capitol Hill where they're trying to find ways to appropriate money so that he has a security detail that maps up with President Biden's security detail. That's as much as I know. I don't know how likely those things are to be successful. But look, my pitch to my Democratic friends who, a lot of them, by the way, I think will vote for Donald Trump in November, but even let's say Democratic leadership that has made hating Donald Trump the whole reason of their existence in politics, what I'd say is assassinations destroy the social fabric of this country. I mean, we're very proud on our side to have the support of Bobby Kennedy Jr., and he's a great guy. I've gotten to know him very well over the last few weeks. But I think in many ways this country never healed from the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And yeah, there were a lot of people who didn't like Bobby Kennedy. There were a lot of people who loved him. But whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, if an assassin takes out a presidential candidate in the midst of this election, it is going to cause a rift and a wound in this country that will be so deep it will never heal. So we cannot let this happen. We cannot let another person take a credible shot at Donald Trump's life. It's disgraceful, and we can do more to protect him, and I think that we have to do more to protect him, not just for his sake, but for the sake of the American people and our shared project as American citizens. So let me leave you with just this final thought here. And again, thank you all for being here. But there was a story that dominated headlines last week. It was actually a story in southwestern Ohio, about 45 minutes from where I grew up, a town called Springfield, Ohio. And what happened in Springfield, I think, is an example of what Kamala Harris's open border, what she wants to do to every small town and big city in this country, which is over the last few years, 20,000 migrants, primarily from Haiti, have been dropped into Springfield, Ohio. And it's caused an incredible stress on nearly every local service. You've got public schools where there are 1,000 kids in a small town, 1,000 kids who don't speak English. You've got local hospitals and clinics that are totally overwhelmed. You've got 8,000 people on the Medicaid rolls that weren't even in the community just 3 short years ago. And you've got a lot of people getting evicted from their homes to make way for people who are receiving government benefits. The idea of kicking American citizens out of their homes for non-citizens who are receiving a welfare check is disgraceful, and it shouldn't happen. It is an absolute disgrace. But President Trump and I have been talking about this issue. We're going to keep on talking about this issue because all over the country, I just saw a story about a small town in Pennsylvania where something else similar is happening. You've got a massive influx of migrants. You've got people who now can't afford housing. And in the name of Kamala Harris's open border, it is a disgrace. But I want to tell you what's even more disgraceful. What's even more disgraceful than the policy is the effort to silence the residents of Springfield. I've seen this from the American media, a lot of people who pretend to be fair journalists. You know what they've been saying? For the last few days, Springfield has been experiencing an unbelievable number, something like 35, 40 bomb threats in Springfield in just the last few days. And you know what the governor of Ohio came out yesterday and said? Every single one of those bomb threats was a hoax. And all of those bomb threats came from foreign countries. So the American media, for 3 days has been lying and saying that Donald Trump and I are inciting bomb threats, when in reality, the American media has been laundering foreign disinformation. It is disgusting. And every single one of them owes the residents of Springfield an apology. But I think it illustrates something, my friends, that is so sick from the American press in 2024. And it's that instead of talking about the crises in our country, they try to silence the people who are experiencing them. Because their message in talking about these bomb threats and in lying to the American people and saying they came from me and Donald Trump, what they're doing is trying to shut all of us up. They're inflow because now these bomb threats are happening. How dare you complain about the fact that you can't afford housing? How dare you complain about Kamala's open border? The media conspired to shut American citizens up. They owe every single American an apology, and they ought to... And after giving every single American an apology, why don't they think about covering the real crisis, which is Kamala's open border and its many, many victims? Focus on the real story, American media. Stop trying to shut up the people who are telling the real story. Do your job. Cover what's going on in this race, and the American people will be better off for it. So, with gratitude to all of you and with gratitude to the state of Michigan, I want to ask you to do everything that you can over the 7 weeks that we have left in this campaign. Knock on doors if you can. And it's going to start in the great state of Michigan. God bless you guys. Thank you for having me.